Well, it's official. Bill Belichick is going to be the next head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels football program. I'm not really going to talk to Harold about this because there's not really much I can say about it, except some of the same talking points that I've kind of said for the last couple of months. Now, first and foremost, big ups to Bill Belichick for getting this job. Second of all, I think Bill Belichick is past his prime. I'm just going to be honest. I know people like to talk about the 6 Super Bowl titles he won with the Patriots and the 2 more he won as a defensive coordinator for the Giants under Bill Parcells. And Bill Belichick has a Hall of Fame resume for the NFL. But some of those same talking heads seem to overlook the last couple of years, because think about it. Those 2 Super Bowls he won as defense coordinator for the Giants, it was with Bill Parcells. It was with Lawrence Taylor, Mark Bavaro, Phil Simms, Phil McConkey, Carl Banks. They had who's who of a squad on deck, and that propelled them to the 2 Super Bowls they won in '86 and '90. You look at every Super Bowl that Bill Belichick won with the Patriots. Tom Brady was the constant. You see what happened once Brady left the Patriots and went on to the Bucs? The Buccaneers wound up winning the Super Bowl in Brady's first year there and had 2 more playoff appearances. They won the division bowl. The other 2 years that they didn't win the Super Bowl, I think the second year they got eliminated by the Rams in the division round. Then that last year, Brady's last year, they got the Buccaneers got beaten by the Cowboys in the wild card round. What has Belichick done post Tom Brady? Okay, he has 1 playoff appearance. They had to go to Buffalo, got spanked by 30 points. But outside of that, 8-9, and an abysmal 4-13. I know people going to talk about, well, Belichick, if he get his people, he may do well. And maybe he will. I'm not saying. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't be getting my hopes up for Belichick because I honestly do feel that the man is past his prime. I just don't think he has it in him anymore. I feel like that last year with the Patriots was just icing on the cake. I feel like Belichick should just retire. I mean, he's already retired, but he's basically fired. But I think he should just kind of live out his living days and just relax with his 20-something-year-old girlfriend, because apparently that's the it thing nowadays. Bill Belichick and Mark Davis both got Gen Z girlfriends. But the point is, Bill Belichick, I to understand he has nothing to prove anymore. It's like, just bow out gracefully. You did your due diligence. I just don't think he has it anymore. Now, maybe North Carolina could prove me wrong. We're going to see what happens this upcoming year. I never really seen Bill Belichick coach on the college realms. I never really hear anything about him coaching on the college realms. It's maybe some information that I'm missing. But it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes. I don't expect him to coach long. That's first and foremost. And in North Carolina football, they should be ashamed of themselves. Like, granted, you want to get rid of Matt Brown. You feel like, he's done everything he could have done for the football program since his arrival. And then you fire him around mid-season. At least you had the courtesy to let him finish out the rest of the season. But Jesus Christ, man. That was kind of Bush League way for them to send out Matt Brown. But the team was not really doing that good last season. Or this season, basically. So, it was time for a change. I didn't think they would go with Belichick. Now, obviously, Bill Belichick, prior to this, he was interviewed by the Falcons this past offseason. He had 2 interviews from what I heard. But yeah, the Falcons decided to go another route, which is why they have Raheem Morris. Now, I know some Falcon fans Now I'm kind of laughing because it's kind of funny to see Falcon fans suffer. But one thing I can't agree with Falcon fans on, even though I do feel like Bill Belichick is past his prime, he's better than Raheem Morris. I feel like the Falcons would have been better off with Belichick as opposed to Raheem Morris. I'm not saying they'll be a playoff team, but what I am saying is like they wouldn't be having these simple mistakes that has triggered down to the team this season. But it also goes back to the Falcons culture. You know, this team just, the thing about the Falcons is like, and I'm trying not to talk trash because I'm known for doing that about the Falcons. I'm trying to be as realistic as possible without talking trash about the Falcons. But it just, you know, it's just something about that franchise that either the players just, you know, it's like when players' careers go to die, or they just kind of like play out their final years, you know, past their prime, they get ready to retire and say, hey, let's just go to Atlanta. Yeah, that's that, you know. The teams, you know, it just makes so many wrong decisions over the decades. And that's another reason why I laugh, because I enjoy seeing them mess up. But I do understand where Falcon fans are coming from. It's like they just tired of their team, you know, making these simple mistakes, letting feasible coaches pass them by in order for you know, mediocrity and below. Raheem Morris is not a good coach. It's already been proven. The first stint with the Falcons has been proven when he was with the Buccaneers. It's proven again with the Falcons this year. He just don't have it. So yes, I do agree with some Falcon fans when they say they should have hired Bill Belichick. They should have. Now, I'm not saying they wouldn't make the playoffs or Super Bowl, but like, you'd be better off. Now, that I will agree with. But no, he you know, the Falcons pass on him, and then he has right up the Appalachians to Chapel Hill, where he's going to get a chance to prove himself, to see and prove me wrong that he's not over the hill, be past his prime, but he has a chance to prove himself that he still have it as a head coach. So yeah, I just got the news about this not too long ago. So, you know, but I've also heard last couple of days that he has been interviewed by the Tar Heels. I just didn't think he was gonna have another coaching job. I think you know, once the Patriots let him go, I thought that was it. But anyways, I was wrong on that one. He has another coaching job, so let's see how this goes. Good luck with the North Carolina Tar Heels football program, Bill Belichick. You already know that. You already know. Well, you know, we already know you're not gonna win a national title. That's obvious. The second thing is, you make sure you got to make sure you beat your rivals. You got to make sure you beat Duke and NC State on a consistent basis, because one thing about Tar Heel fans, if you're not winning championships, you better beat Duke and you better beat State. That's mandatory. And third of all, we all know that Nick Saban used to be an understudy under Bill Belichick back in the 90s when Belichick was the head coach of the Browns. Saban was an understudy for him. So this brings up an interesting question. Does Nick Saban follow Bill Belichick to North Carolina? Not as a coordinator, but maybe like a co-head coach or something. You know, does Saban follow him? That's going to be something we got to really keep our eye on. We know Saban voluntarily retired from Alabama, but hey, Belichick back in it, so hey, it could open the door. Just saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just saying it could. But yeah. North Carolina Tar Heels hired Bill Belichick. Let this one begin. Let this era begin.